10th. Thank you for that. And please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of
the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So is there anyone that would like to talk about anything that's not on this agenda, public forum? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll move to the consent agenda, which is Design Review Committee meeting minutes of February 10th.
I've got
I-
several typo corrections, which I will make.
Yeah, Sharon, that was the one I found. In the meeting, it says present Susan Brown.
Yes, yes.
So that's the one I caught, but I didn't attend this meeting, but
There's several typos.
yeah.
I've been called worse.
All right, so do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? Have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Right. We are going to go on to item number 5A, 190 Mahoney Mill Road for the Gormleys. Erin, do you want to introduce this item?
Yes, so in front of you tonight is a design review application for a couple things. The first is their accessory structure that the committee reviewed last month. And also they've added a few things to the application, including changes to the exterior siding of the building or of the main house, roof changes to the house, and adding a window. So the applicant heard what the committee had to say. I spoke with her after the meeting last week or last month and let her know the concerns that the committee had, and they made changes to the accessory structure, and those are included in the packet. And so did everyone get a chance to see the photos in the packet and the changes that were made to the metal building? The building that is in the packet is not the accurate size, but it is the style with the roofing materials that is being proposed. So I want to make sure that is clear. And also since then, they are proposing to change the siding or redo the siding on the existing house and change the roof from the metal tin roof to the existing tin roof to a comp shingle. One of the reasons that I recommended approval of the metal accessory structure last month is because it matched the roofing of the existing structures on the property. So it is my recommendation that that the committee require some aesthetic consistency between the structures. Since my recommendation last time was the prefab metal structure matched the metal roof on the house, and now they're asking for a change to that. So my recommendation is that you guys consider requiring a different roofing material on the house or the accessory structure. I will leave that up to you all.
And the applicant is here.
Yeah, the applicant is here. The applicant also submitted her own materials and additional photos. So the siding, the change in the window, the colors of the house, all meet our design standards and are consistent with them. The comp roof also is allowed based on our design standards. So.
Me dealing with that and then the other thing that's going up. Yeah, I don't know.
Mike, you had some comments?
I was going to wait, but I'm probably on the other side as I understand myself finally, as been looking at this. I agree with your original analysis that working with a metal roof, keeping the metal roof and having the
Sorry, Mike, could you talk into your
oh,
microphone?
sure.
You can pull it,
yeah,
pull it
pull
way
it
forward.
closer.
Ah,
There you go.
okay. So I like the idea of the keeping the house with a metal roof and having the auxiliary structure come up to that kind of standard. It'd be, I know they're looking at doing the one by cement board for the house, and in some ways for a simple little structure, if you could just do, one could also consider looking at the I'm forgetting the name of this, the cementitious board, hardy plank. Yeah, hardy board. I mean, that would bring the two buildings, you know, this auxiliary building closer to the house and with a metal roof on it. I agree. I don't care for metal roofs that are reflective. I don't have any issues with metal roofs that are darker and less reflective than one ends up with in many of them. And so that's sometimes that's a more expensive roof probably to find a decent one, but I would prefer, if I would rather see the whole house work with that metal roof or leave the metal roof or go to a new one, but with something that was not immediately much more reflective than it is now. Hopefully it would be toned down, so it wouldn't be a problem with reflectivity and pull the building together that way. I'm hoping somebody else has their.
I have lots of comments, but I'm going to let my other committee members, John, do you have questions, comments?
Yeah, are we going this way, Sandy first or me?
Go for it, Sandy.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Okay, I mean, I like the idea. Is there a problem with your metal roof on your house? Is it leaking or something?
It's not leaking, but it's very antiquated and it's sitting on top of shingles. And
Oh.
so it needs an upgrade just to keep it rodent proof and for our future, you know, at some point it's going to need replacement. It's lifting a little bit, it's skip sheeting, if you know what that is, it needs under.
Okay, that was what I was wondering, how
Yeah.
weatherproof it was. The one way or the other, yeah.
Was, but it's twice the price,
Mhm.
and that is,
Yeah.
it's a huge deal for us.
I'm sorry that we are recording. Do you mind just going up there and making your comments? If that's okay.
I
And
will
put-
say that
Push the
that-
button.
in her letter, she did point out, which is factual, that prior to the metal roof, it was a shake roof.
Yeah.
And shake is not fire resistant. And so going to a comp roof is a fire resistant alternative. And having been through this and having to take an old metal roof off and removing all the shake, it was amazing the amount of damage that was underneath that roof.
We did the same with our house, so I
Yeah,
mean, I
so
understand that.
I understand the need to do that.
Yeah, so that was why I had the question. I would like to see the unifying. I appreciate what Mike said, you know,
Keep
the siding and the roof, you know, and it's kind of up to you, which, because as he said.
I wasn't really clear what you were trying to express, but as far as keeping it cohesive, we at least went with the exact colors of the house. The roof was a light gray, the trim would be dark gray, and then the metal building would be white. So at least the colors were coordinating. And it's quite a ways from the home, you know, in itself. And there's also an old barn
Mhm.
structure behind that has a metal roof. So it'd be really hard to have everything come together all at once like that.
Right.
So. And I'm sorry, I wasn't really sure what you were saying about the metal
Well,
roof and
I
the
was saying,
siding.
probably should let them get through, but I was just simply, I prefer the metal roof that you have on the house now visually for that
Mhm.
house.
Mhm.
And if I was, you know, ruling the world, I would have, you know, I would probably like to see the metal roof stay on, or a different metal roof go on the house. And I realize that's going to be more expensive. I understand that.
It's like $70,000 for 1,100 square feet.
Right,
It's a lot of money for a
right.
roof.
Yes, right.
And also the comp roof had the highest fire rating. So the contractors that it truly did, we have to put a special underlayment under the metal roof, because if there's a structure fire, the roof gets hot. And so it's a fire hazard on that aspect.
Right.
So just weighing the good and the bad. Contractors are advising against the metal roof
Hmm.
for installation and cost all the way around. I do like them, but you know, a good portion of Sutter Creek is comp now, so
Right.
I don't think that that's fair to hold us to that
No, I
standard.
agree. I think that it was put very well that, you know, trying to find a way to pull the things, the different types of materials together, and you know, if the roof on the house goes to comp, that is understandable. At least it's a darker gray or something, perhaps darker. And then the question would be, how could the what happens with the auxiliary building? And I'm not sure what the answer is, except, you know, except for I do wonder about having the white roof on the, if you're gonna do comp, then I wonder
The
maybe
gray color.
if maybe the auxiliary structure could have a comp roof as well that could match the house possibly. Why do you say that?
Well, isn't the material on the.
It's a steel building.
It's
Yeah,
a steel
we would
building.
have
Well,
to-
right, it would probably require upgrade on the building. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So,
Can I ask a real quick question here? Because I'm looking, because I wasn't able to attend the last meeting. I had a family emergency.
We changed the roof from that.
Okay, so it's not that roof
It's not
anymore.
that.
It's the one that actually meets one before with that. Okay.
They've changed the proposal to the.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check that that's why that
And
was. in
with
it.
that upgrade, we're able to change the paint to match the home.
Yeah, I have it all in front of me. So
Yeah, look more.
Sandy, did you have any other comments? Yeah,
Have you done a cost comparison for built garage with a
Oh, yeah.
garage door versus what you're proposing?
It's quite
the
a bit
temp-
more. Yeah, it is. And you know, like I said, this is just a very small project on the property. And, you know, we still want to do pavement and blacktop and those kinds of things. And I don't, you know, they're even more important than this structure. You know, and we could scrap the structure altogether, but then I think aesthetically, it's going to look better to have vehicles concealed. And then it's also set down, what is it, 4.5 feet from the level of the road?
Mhm.
So it's, and then I planted a photinia hedge, so the entire thing will be concealed from anybody driving by. In a matter of years, the photinia is already 2 years old. That's
Yeah.
not it. It's I think the very last page on the proposal.
Sandy, did you have any more questions or
See, it
comments?
sits down from the road there.
basically is that the structure is going to be pointing out towards that lower part there,
It'll be where the truck and trailer are now.
basically there.
There.
And that's the backup zone. It's coming this. coming
So
this way.
literally the,
On the
the
other side of the
photinia-
other accessory building,
I'm sorry,
on the other side of the other accessory building that's already there,
Barn.
the barn,
the barn's downhill.
Well,
right,
Yeah, it's way downhill. I mean, it's been there forever.
right.
part are very compatible with these standards. Changing from horizontal to board and batten is not out of the realm of this. You went to a great extent to provide comparable comparisons. And most of those actually, if you'll look, have a mixture.
Yeah.
They're two-story structures with a mixture of horizontals and clapboard,
Right.
vertical board and batten, which can work very well. This is a one-story structure, so it's far more unifying to do it. The gable end of the existing house has an interesting scalloped feature. Were
Right.
you planning on changing that as well, or?
It's vinyl as well. And yeah, I was planning,
Okay,
my thoughts are to continue the board and batten to the top and
Okay.
then have a decorative natural wood finial. I'm not, that's not the term for it,
okay.
but
Scallop look, yeah.
no, up
Yeah.
in the eave.
And a bit-
Oh.
So not on the side of the house, but a little eave element there.
Okay.
Oh.
So in terms of those changes, I'm not worried. I think they're compatible with the standards to do that from a
Mhm.
horizontal exposure to a linear vertical. The roofing itself, to go from the corrugated, I want to jump in with Sandy. When you open that up, you will find a lot more work, I'm almost assured, okay?
Yeah,
Right.
well, we've been inside the attic because we did a complete remodel on the inside. So we're well aware.
Okay.
And we've had contractors look at it as well.
So I'm not worried about changing from the corrugated metal to going to a comp. And from your standpoint, or from an environmental standpoint, an energy standpoint, when you do that, you're going to do a sheathed roof. That
Mhm.
allows you to have a tighter seal to your attic. The heat loss through the structure will be greatly reduced.
Right.
That's all a positive. And like I say, the end results are shingle. You see that roof quite dominantly because it's, you're up high,
Yeah,
it's down low.
right.
I think those all make positive sense. Did you actually look at just going back with the horizontal lines on hardy board? Because they make a horizontal siding as well.
Oh.
Yeah, it just wasn't my preference.
Okay, then
Yeah,
I have no
I just
problem with
really
that.
like the modern farmhouse look.
You said there's adding a window, and
Mhm.
on one of these drawings, there's an elevation. Go back to the house, please. Go, no, you come, yeah, there you go. Stop. Oh, there you go. So there's a blue arrow. Is that a door or a window?
That is a window
Okay.
there and we just want a duplicate to the left side of it.
You want to put two windows next to each
Two,
other?
yeah, just be two. just-
Okay, and that's on the kind of a north side.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't see any I don't see any difficulty with the compatibility of that.
Okay.
And when so I don't have any real problems with anything on the house.
Nice.
Let's go to, you mentioned you were going to paint the barn, the
Mhm.
garage / barn and whatnot. Please do it tenderly and not have to tear down too much of that wood unless it becomes really unsound. I'm hoping that a good whitewash or whatever treatment will help preserve that materials. That they're 100-year-old plus year-old materials, and they're holding up. And with a little TLC, I don't know what the earth to siding contact is. That could be a place where you have a lot of problem. Okay,
Yeah, fortunately, there isn't on the garage.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like some of Ed Swift's over here. They're going to last another 100 years. If the earthquakes don't. Sure.
Well, we bought this, it was sitting on the dirt,
Okay.
so we.
So I have no problem with the choices for the house. But the carport is another one. One of the reasons we have design standards, do you have the photos that I took? Okay, so we have the extensive comments on the house, that's fine. But the carport, you've changed it to a more appropriate to some kind of turn of the century pitched roof, but it's still a metal carport. And in Amador County, that's,
George's.
not uncommon. In Sutter Creek, the reason we created design standards 20 years ago was because we had a proliferation of those. Okay, now yours is nicer, but it's still one of those. Okay, and until they rust away, I guess we get to live with it. We don't have the propensity or capability to ask property owners to remove that. But that's right on the old Highway 49, our main street. That's the entrance, kind of a gateway to the city. And your property is really in the district. It's part of what's been identified in our walking tours now as being right there by the old cemetery. So when we identify that the city of Sutter Creek is on the state landmarks, okay, that includes the cemeteries and those items that are historically significant and the types. So your property that you have is a lovely property, and it is got a history of its own, and it's right there by the historic cemetery. And a metal carport is exactly what these standards were intended to avoid.
Can I just pause you for just a second?
You may.
Tom, can you maybe let one of your officers know that there's a kid on the roof of the play structure? And he looks like he's having a little hard time getting off of it.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Just, sorry, the mom in me
Right
is,
Jeez.
Oh,
where are the parents? Okay, sorry.
uh,
Thank you, Tom.
can I keep going, Tom, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Being-
Oh, he's coming down.
So-
He's got it.
I don't want to even
Oh,
look.
God, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, okay.
Crisis averted.
So Kathy, back to the carport. So my position is that metal carports, were in fact one of the founding reasons why we ended up with standards. And that's this is a project we had just a few years ago, where an applicant came, and this is across the 49 or the old 49 Main Street. And they came in, they wanted an RV storage, and they came in with ideas that were metal. And originally they were going to take the little garage down, and then this was going to be right in the front of the property, far more visible. But anyway, after discussions here, they decided, yes, it was a little more expensive, but they got a nice garage door that they liked the idea of securing their RV, and they went to a framed building, matched the horizontal siding and the roofing, and they even matched it, although it may not look like it, that the roof pitches of that existing house. And their house was not farmhouse, but not true folk Victorian or shotgun either. But it tied together. So that's more what I'd like to see. You're so close to Mahoney, which is traveled, and you look down on it, and I know you've planted photinias, and they grow rather quickly, and they make a great hedgerow. But there are other sides, go back to another one, if you're coming up Mahoney, not that one, the next one. Try another one. Okay, so you come past the barn, garage, what do you want to call it? And you're going to steer that no matter how high your hedgerow is for the next 40, 50 feet before you could get to any of the hedgerow. And hedgerows come and they go and whatnot. And the roof will always be visible, no matter what it is, from the cemetery. So my stance would be that I want to see in the standards, like materials, like period, like shapes, and like forms. And the pre-manufactured metal building will not do that, in my opinion.
And any flexibility on the door? I don't think we could put a door on the building and get the RV in there. So we don't have enough width there to do that. So
Okay,
that's an issue for us.
so I'm only willing to make a motion for part of these proposed improvements, which deal with the house. Like I say, I think your narrative is very good. The history is great. I think what you're doing will last a long time and look well there. But the carport, by the very nature of its materials, is not what the standards were intended to guide us to.
So this building that, I'm glad you provided these pictures because it's helpful. Does this building has a metal roof on it that's on this
Yeah.
picture right here. And it's board and bat. And I agree with everything that John said about the house. You guys maintain your property beautifully and decorate it every year. So nice during the holidays and everything. Is the proposed carport have a pitch that's similar to this accessory building? It seems to me it does.
I think they said it was a
Fairly close.
312 and I couldn't tell you exactly the pitch.
Look,
So I guess my point is that I think if you can make that structure more compatible with that accessory building that's right there on Mahoney Mill, I would be okay with it. Because then it's just another accessory building that's to the house, and it blends in with that instead of the house. So if there's a way to put some sort of siding on the lower part, I'm actually okay with the pitch of the roof and the roof material because it's metal, and I don't think it's going to be that visible. And I think if that were the case, then it would look more similar to this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So, but help me out with, just so I don't waste my time on this.
Absolutely, yeah.
We could order a steel frame and put siding on it,
Mhm.
but I don't think we could have a door on it. And
I-
that is,
I'm not hung up totally on a door.
I'm not hung up on a door either.
okay,
I
okay.
think if it had, I think the metal roof is compatible with this metal roof of the other accessory building. This isn't the house. This is another accessory building.
Got
The
it.
barn down below, I think has
Metal
metal.
roof.
So I think you're using compatible materials for the roof. The pitch of the roof is similar to this. It doesn't match the house, but again, it's an accessory building matching the other accessory buildings. And if you can just do the siding like you would be doing, that's similar to this, which is what you're going to be doing on the house anyway, right?
Yeah,
Then I think that would be a relatively costly, it's going to
Might be able
cost
to-
a little
yeah,
bit
we might
more,
be able to
but
pull
it's a
that
good
off.
compromise from doing a stick-built structure.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Well, you think so? I think-
What does the committee feel about that suggestion?
Well, I know.
Could we do this
Because
application in two
The house
parts?
is more of a 6 to 8 foot.
It was originally
the
two
lower
parts, but then I
portion.
put this whole thing together so that you had an idea of what we were doing with the house.
And
Because
I appre-
initially
you
we were just doing.
I
the
appreciate that.
carport.
I think you can do two separate motions
Okay, I'm
and,
already-
and do a motion for the house. That way she can move forward on the house
That one.
because she has to get a variance for something, right? Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
too close to the road.
Yeah.
But if you want to do two different,
I think. it
But I
probably-
conditioned it that it has to get DRC approval.
yeah, so they can,
Get it variance approval and then. work
it
out
still has to get the DRC, right?
Well, if anybody doesn't object, I would make a motion for the residential portion of this. So I would be willing to make a motion that the proposed changes to the residential dwelling, siding, roofing, adding a window, all is within the standards, and that part of the project should move forward.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion carries 5-0.
So I.
So I'm going to pull the committee again. What I am saying, what I would like to see is the carport have the board and bat siding on it, but it's acceptable to have the metal roof at the pitch that's similar to the roof of the other accessory building.
I have a question
Thanks.
about that.
Let's go to John first.
Your metal fabricating company guy is not here, is he? Or is that you? No. The metal carport, this picture here, that's a good photo, that photo. Will structurally hold itself together, I assume. The corners of that building at the opening, okay, have no definition. They're just the width of the exterior.
Right.
Whereas conventional framing includes the barn and everything else, usually turns a corner. It's out of necessity for structural reasons, but over the decades and whatnot, that gives a definition and a little thickness. I don't know if you needs adding 4 more feet or 3 more feet or whatever to the width of the opening would allow a corner. Am I making myself clear
Well,
enough?
I think,
To represent the opening in a more traditional manner,
I think that makes the roof, the open pitch of the roof.
look stranger?
well,
Well,
there's
then
a
it makes
sub-
it hard to do how do you do that? And if you wrap that building around in the front, then you have to fill in the gabled end, which
Yeah, you're right.
you have to
have-
fill in that
I-
gabled end.
But one of the,
and
thi-
if
I
I
have
can
a
speak
question
on
about-
that.
oh, sure.
Um, our concrete contractor has already poured the stem wall. He was under the impression we didn't need a permit, that it was a temporary structure. So we've already invested $7,000 in a stem wall for that building. So
So the width is sort of,
gosh, I don't want to take it down.
no, okay.
But what you have, so what you do have is that you're building one that's 16 feet wide. That's how long the cement structure is, the
Mhm.
retaining wall. So it's 16 feet. Oh, that's the 16 feet wide. It's 29 feet long. The 29 feet is the one that has a stem wall on it. Is it correct?
It's 3 sides. It's open in the front, and he's poured a wall completely around where
Yeah.
we were going to set the building.
Oh, on 3 sides.
But I have one question that you're only putting one RV in this building because, you know, your sides are, I don't know how tall your sidewalls are. But if you can't put
I
a
put-
garage door on it,
Yeah.
which would go straight across, you know, it means that your RV has to be wider than,
It's
higher
it's a
than-
matter of, we don't have a direct line to park a vehicle in there. We have to come down on an angle and work it in. It's tricky. It's not like it's on, you know what I'm saying? It's not a straight line to
Yeah.
get that RV in there.
Well,
So
I
you
mean-
have to have wiggle room. And then we have it wide enough so that the slide on the RV can open while it's in storage. And also the stairs to get in the trailer can be out
no,
while.
but I'm saying that you're showing it with 2 standard cars in.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you're
that's
talking,
that's not the that's not the dimensions of our building.
Okay.
in
I know,
that
but-
photo.
but
It's only-
what you said is that your RV can't go in. I mean, you have it wide enough so you can back it in and stuff. But it has to be in the center of it or you have trouble, I mean,
Can you
the
go back
height.
to
I
the,
don't understand.
can you show the photo of the truck and the,
How tall are the sidewalls?
10 feet?
10 feet.
Well, yeah, right there. Okay. So that's your rig, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, essentially you park it more to the center of this, garage, right? And so the
Mhm.
slide outs would work and the stairs could work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's at the high point. So, yeah, even having a closed in gable end would be a problem.
Yeah, if you had the
Yeah,
framing on either end,
Yeah.
it'd make it harder to
Okay.
get that vehicle in.
Well, and you'd have to put a gabled
Well, you
end
are
on
centering
it,
it.
which
That hard.
I don't think she can do height wise.
Why? What?
She had a gabled, if you wrap the wall around,
Yes.
no garage door, but if you wrap those walls around, you'd have to put a gabled end on it.
I don't know if you'd have to, but it looked like it's
But it
something.
would look better.
Oh, I agree, but it
Right.
would mean that it's not functional for what they need.
Well, it depends. I mean, you've only got the stem walls in so far. So, I mean, how high do those come basically up so far? Are those like
18 inches.
18 inches or
I
so?
believe
Just enough
so.
to get it up out of the sides. Yeah, okay.
And to make it a sturdy structure, we just,
And what you're building is 16 feet wide. I mean, if you were, and I understand, probably when you're using it just for carport for the larger vehicle, that is gonna go down the center because it's only 16 feet wide. You're not gonna get another, if that's it.
No.
And I don't know whether or not one could squeeze in a little sidewall at the corners or not, and, you know, and do what we're kind of talking about, which is make it more architectural by having a little that happening across the front. But you're saying that's not going to work to have like a, I'm not sure how wide that, do you know how wide that vehicle is? Just out of curiosity, as long as we've spent this kind of time, we might as well.
I could
Well, they'll
tell
need
you
this-
offhand. I mean, it's a
Is-
standard, they're all the same.
You'd probably need the 16 feet if you want to open the side, slide out and the door on the other side. The 16 feet,
Well,
You
60
park in the
feet will do
middle.
it, but probably the problem is, like you say, if you started encroaching on that with a door, then you're not going to be able to get that RV in there very easily, is what I'm hearing
Here we
from
go.
you.
Mhm.
it's a 24 high, 8-inch stem wall.
And you're putting a 10-foot tall building on it, so you have,
What?
Oh, 10, 11
It's
feet.
only
The
10
sidewalls would be
feet.
12 feet.
The sidewalls, oh,
Yeah. I
sidewalls are gonna
guess,
be
yeah,
12
If
feet.
you add in the stem wall.
So the proportions change a lot when you look at it that way. Because this one's, looks very, you know, almost like a 2-car garage. It's, the proportions are much skinnier and.
Yes, that's why I
taller.
stated on there that that's just for
Right,
material.
Just to, right, I
Right.
understand. And it's difficult to get away from this. I think that honestly, I think the structure will look better regardless of, even if you don't do the sidewalls, if you could wrap the corner a little bit and have, a form going, an actual door that was the right height, I think you possibly could do it, but you'd have very little on the
You
sides.
do maybe like a 6-inch board or something. in
Well,
front.
I would probably try to do as much as I could, like up to a foot or 16 inches, and see what you could work with the vehicle. You know, look at it one more time with I mean, would be one thing you could do is look at it. Can you get in with a little bit of solid on either side and the
See, right. 12-foot
gable across above it? Because if you got a 12-foot high,
stem wall.
I mean, it seems like for the sidewall, it seems like you're just getting to the point where you could actually squeeze that in without, as long as, maybe it's only an opening and not an actual garage door, but at least it would, the proportions are going to change a lot when you start seeing that form go up. And it's going to be better looking, I think it will. Be better looking. It may cost, well, I don't know.
Does that mean that that would have to be taller? Because
Well, they're describing it as being taller. It's going to have 12-foot
Right, the walls are
The walls are-
from
they're 10
grade.
feet and
are
and
tall.
2 feet.
But if you were to require wrapping the sides around and making the gabled end closed, would that require it to be even taller?
Hmm,
should.
no, I don't think so, because it's not,
It's already tall.
I mean, if you look at that one where the one that we did with, you know, it's a
Right.
lot skinnier, but it's tall and it has a door that is
Oh,
up there.
if you go to the
The
one,
one that we did, a
the wooden one, yeah,
wooden one.
go to
Behind
my
the-
slide, the last. That has a return on one side of the garage door. Keep going, or whatever. There you go.
There.
See, that's about a 12, 14 inch or whatever return on that end.
But I mean, so it
Yeah.
has a very, you know, if you put a door on it, you would have
But
more of a
I'm
look
not
like
saying we need to do
but
a
it's-
door, but yeah,
it's, you know, but you wider than.
it finds it.
That's a much taller structure than. what
It
we're-
is, yes.
Yeah.
So it's not that
I'm
the
not
door,
I'm
I
not
mean-
sure I agree with that it's a much taller structure. If you're doing 12 feet high, that's,
That is-
maybe I'm wrong, it's hard to tell.
That
but-
was a 12-foot garage door.
What's that?
That
The door
is,
itself is 12 feet.
think-
Right, and
As I
the door itself is just below the eave height.
right.
And so it's getting very close. I'm saying it's getting close enough that I'd probably try to take a close look at, you know, whether or not, I mean, you might, and I'm only saying this because you might want to put a door on that someday. If you're doing a decent metal building, there's nothing wrong with, I don't have a problem with metal buildings. But they still can be architectural. And it might be that if you were looking at that you'd be able to keep the most of the width and just have, yes, just 6 inches to 12 inches wide at the corners and a garage door behind that. And you don't put the garage door in for a few years. When you have the money, you can put the garage door in later. But I think it's plausible that you could upgrade your building and make it a lot more useful for you and safe by looking at those proportions and seeing if a 10-foot wide, if you have a 12-foot wide wall and you have a 10-foot door that's going up to 12 feet high, you may have all the room you need to get that vehicle in with that, looking at those proportions. Since you have the proportions, that it's going to be a 12-foot wide, you know, I mean, 16-foot, it's 16-foot wide, so
Yeah.
you could easily
Two.
go later with a 12-foot wide door or something like that, and then that would probably give you what you would need.
Okay. I
Do you know what the ground to the top of your camper or the or trailer is?
You said you didn't, I think.
I don't have that with me.
Okay,
I believe it was around 10.5 feet to the top of the AC unit.
okay, and that
Mhm.
usually projects a little bit, so, yeah.
Mhm.
And you're having 12 on your stem wall, 2-foot stem wall.
Right, right.
10-foot frame, that's what you're asking for.
Yeah,
So you're clear at the side edges even. You know, but I understand why you want to park in the middle because then you can open it up.
right.
But even if you are close to one or the other side, the 12 should be okay.
And
Yeah, it was okay with the measurements. I just don't retain everything. Look at my notes.
you don't. Well, I think the proportions of the building are going to be much better looking than what you see here. And and with and I think that you could look at, take a, I don't know how are we, so we've approved the one build, the main house. And is it going to slow you down too much to take a look at what I'm talking about in terms of setting up the front of maybe spending a little more on the front of the house or not, but setting it up such that you could at some point finish
The carport.
Yeah.
finish, put it such that you could put a door in it if you
Mhm.
wanted to. I mean, there's probably a couple different,
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'll have to leave here and go talk with my husband, talk with the contractor, see what it looks like to put something like that together, and if it fits our budget, and,
Mhm.
if that's something we can do.
So, well, first off, thank you for even considering
yes.
to sit and consider that. That's, I think you've made some concessions with this design already, and with saying that you would put some siding on it that would be similar to the other house. So, if that's the case, are you okay if we continue this item one more time?
Do I have a choice? I don't have a choice.
Well, we could make a decision, yes or no. And if the yes happens, it's likely, I'm not sure what the vote count would be at this point. It would either be denial or wrapping it. And I can accept motions and we can see where we go, but
If you're able to make that recommendation and vote on it, that would be fine. It doesn't mean I have to build it. If it turned out that didn't work out, I would come back with another proposal,
Okay.
right?
okay,
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
all right. So do you want to make a motion?
How about you, John? You want me?
Not this time.
Not this
There's
time.
too many moving
Okay.
parts to what you.
There are a lot of moving parts.
Just.
Do you want me to take a stab at it? Just to tell
Yeah.
you what this,
So
what I
if
think
you
it
you
is?
could
I'm
just
fine with-
vote without a door, if it were board and batten, not hardy board, but wood structure with a metal roof. I'm
And
thinking.
wrapping that
I think you
I-
got it.
front
That-
around
I think that's-
And
with a gabled end.
running,
I can't guarantee I can wrap the front a foot and a half or so. If you can just, if I can have 6 or 8 inches on either side.
would be better than, yeah, I think that's plausible.
Okay.
I know it because you've built the stem walls already, so it's doing a little bit extra isn't the most.
We were misled, unfortunately. So
So
Yeah.
do you have enough information if you were to say so moved?
I don't. I'd like to repeat
What's
it.
that?
Very-
So if you could state your motion
Well, if I
clearly.
could say the motion, okay. The motion would be that we would like to. I'm fine with doing the board and batten on this structure. If that's something, is that something you see plausible for? Let's take it one step at a time. Is that something you see plausible for this structure?
all I can say is that
Okay.
I would go to my husband and contractor and
Right,
my contractor did say that if we bought a Versatube frame, we could work with it and put a different kind of roof on it if we had to. And siding as well. He did say that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that looks like in cost but
and that's a metal frame structure, is that? what
yeah,
that
you
is?
would buy the
But you-
metal frame, drop it on the stem wall, and then you would attach your
Right,
siding
I-
to that.
bingo, that sounds great.
Okay.
And then I would probably say that the next thing we would like to consider is extending the roof, if it's possible to extend the roof out, particularly to the front side, where you could just have a little bit of a more relief. How can I describe that?
You have an eave in the front
No, I'm not saying. have
over the
eave on
gabled end?
front. It basically, the
Okay.
way you would have the gable has eave
Like that one.
addition to it.
Yeah.
So it's not flush with the wall, but it actually popped out, a few inches from the wall to create that architectural detail of having a.
Rather than
Well,
flush with the wall, which
Rather
is,
than flush.
it would,
And you could,
obviously, it'd be more,
money.
it's going to be protected more that way.
Oh,
So,
more
yeah.
protected that way, yes.
yeah.
So I would say, I think that that could work for us. If it's too onerous, you could always come back and say, we can't, we don't feel like doing that
Mhm.
part of it and that. But so first of all, we have the board and batten.
Framing, great.
Second, we have
Sheeting and tin
Feet or so.
on top, metal.
sheet, on the roof, yeah,
The metal roof as presented.
metal roof as presented.
Closer together so that you have framing.
And
back
what-
too, so-
Because it matches the other accessory buildings.
That
So-
would be,
So the motion would be to accept the accessory structure with the metal roof at the pitch and material as presented.
So we're going.
To
with
wrap,
that?
yeah, because it's consistent with,
the
mean,
garage.
because it's consistent with the barn and the other structure that's in the front of the house. No, the house has already been approved with comp.
House, I would think that if you looked at all of it together, you would find that a wood structure, because you're gonna have to go with additional framing inside in order to put the siding up.
No,
Well,
no, I was told we wouldn't.
I know. So the motion would be to, with the design as presented for the roof at that pitch and with that material, to do the siding in board and bat similar to the other accessory building that's next to it,
Mhm.
to wrap minimum of 6 inches around the front with a gabled end enclosed. Did I cover everything?
Clear?
Okay, that would be the motion that we have on the
That's
table.
Motion that I am presenting. yes.
Okay, do I have a second to that motion? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I like where we're going, but I have to vote no. I think your costs when you put interim framing so that you can do the wood siding, additional metal framing in there is going to get to the point where you actually have a framed building with the siding that will be compatible, all in favor of that. But right now you have an engineered building with framing that's out there every 8 feet, it looks like to me. And you're to have something to attach the wood siding to.
It's
You're gonna have to get,
4.5.
Yeah. Sorry, John,
4.5 on center.
I didn't hear Sandy's vote. Was it,
are they 4.5?
it's 3-1 or?
I'm deciding what they're gonna do, how they're gonna actually build it. I'm having a little trouble.
If this motion that she's gonna take back to her contractor doesn't work,
Yeah.
she can come back. If
I
it
mean,
works
the
and it works
motion-
well for them, then she can move on with her program.
Right, the motion passed. We had 3 votes. I just need to
Right.
know what
Yeah.
Sandy's vote was.
So just need to know what your vote is.
I would vote for it if
What's
it was actually going to end up looking like what we're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah, 3-1,
Right.
4-1.
Did we just?
Yeah.
pass that?
all right. Motion carries 4-1.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank-
Thanks for working with us
Yeah.
on
Yes.
this. I really
Very
do
much.
appreciate it. And all the research and stuff that you did on your house is impressive. Thank you. And with that, it is 5:53 and I'm going to adjourn this meeting.